See, this is amazing, isn't it? Don't you think that's amazing? Like, I honestly think that's crazy, but also really cool. You know, it's like nature made this. It says it came from a mold. A lion's mane. What a surprise. That was my lion impression. I'm not gonna lie, I think it does look like a lion's mane, but I think it looks like something more. I think it looks like, oh my god, don't even get me started on baby butter mushrooms. Wow, I love them. I eat them as a snack. Like, they're so cute and little, and they're like little crunchy fellas that you just go. But honestly, that was an experience, let me tell you. I felt like I was in labour. I was like, oh, it was like really like something was going on in there, scraping, whatever. Seizures. Yeah, well, that would be a bad state to get to, wouldn't it? I would probably stop when you're having the above symptoms. Hello all. Welcome back to my podcast. Today we're talking about lion's mane, the funky new mushroom that's been around for centuries in the Chinese market, but has made a popular I don't want to say comeback because it's not really come from anywhere, but has made a popular entrance into the UK Western food market. Dun dun dun. I don't know why. I mean, the Chinese have just been doing this kind of stuff for years, and we just pick up on some things, but I mean, they've been saying for a long time that there's lots of like holistic food supplement things that will help us, they help with healing, etc. So they've been doing it first, and they've been doing it for a long time. I don't just mean the Chinese, but Chinese medicine is quite a big thing, like herbal medicine and stuff. I'm not saying herbal medicine's the way forwards, but I've just realised that's my laptop at the bottom. What I am saying is they discovered it a long time ago. In fact, here we go. Okay, no, sorry, I got mixed up with something I had from the matcha episode, but it was discovered in Chinese medicine. They have been using it for oh my god, there's so many positives to it. I mean, there are also negatives, so we're going to cover both. What I was going to say is they've been using it for, and then I was going to list lots of things they were going to be using it for, but then I'm like, okay, there's quite a lot. So let's talk quickly about how I started taking it, because originally I was kind of against it, and that is because I eat button mushrooms, and that is it. I'm a boring button mushroom girl. But, because that's like almost the only mushroom that's available in the UK, if like button mushrooms, chestnut mushrooms, baby button mushrooms. Oh my god, don't even get me started on baby button mushrooms. Wow, I love them. I eat them as a snack. Like, they're so cute and little, and they're like little crunchy fellas that you just go. Some people say that mushrooms are slimy. Not if you eat them raw. And I know that some people wouldn't eat them raw, but you're missing out. I get it why you wouldn't want to eat them cooked, because they are a little bit like, they can become a bit weird and a little bit like snail-like looking. But I mean, that doesn't bother me. I'm quite fine with mushrooms, which is kind of unusual because I'm a really funny kind of texture person. But I pretty much haven't eaten any other mushrooms except maybe portobello. Sorry, I lied. Portobello. Have I eaten shiitake? I don't know. But I haven't eaten lion's mane, that's for sure. I don't even know where you buy this shit. Like, let me tell you what it looks like, okay? Because it's got loads of names, and the reason why it's called lion's mane is because it supposedly looks like a lion's mane. What a surprise. That was my lion impression. And I'm not gonna lie, I think it does look like a lion's mane, but I think it looks like something more. I think it looks like what I would call a hungry, where did hungry come from? I was going to say hungry caterpillar. A hairy cauliflower. Google it and tell me it doesn't look like a hairy cauliflower. Now, once the little tendrils get longer, then maybe it looks a bit more like a lion's mane, but I don't know. It looks like many things. Anyway, it's got loads of names. Let's go through them very quickly. Bear's head mushroom, bearded hedgehog mushroom, bearded tooth fungus, ew, hog head fungus. Then some Chinese names. Lion's mane mushroom. Okay, we know that one. Duh. Well, that's literally what we're talking about. Monkey head mushroom. This one's a bit weird. Old man's beard mushroom. Pom-pom mushroom. I could see it looks like a pom-pom. It looks like a cheerleading pom-pom. I don't know what that one is. White beard mushroom, and then a Japanese one. A Japanese name. I could try and say it if you want, but it might be offensive. Yamabushitake? I don't know. So, who knows where you get them from? I'm sure, well, the thing is, getting them as a supplement, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Getting them as alive, are they alive if they're cut? A non-dried mushroom is muy difícil, very difficult. Well, I don't know, actually. I think maybe if you went into a Chinese food store, you might get them. But how often are you in a Chinese food store? Me? Never. I've never been in a Chinese food store in my life. And maybe that says more about me than I want it to. But I'm sorry, I just haven't been in one. It's on my bucket list. So, I recently started having lion's mane mushroom extract. Or I guess it's lion's mane mushroom, but like dried and then ground up. On my last episode, I talked about matcha. And the matcha I have is from Real, Rheal. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with me today. Now, the matcha I have is from them, and it has ashwagandha, ginger, matcha, and lion's mane mushroom. It has 500 milligrams. That's not like a significant amount. Let's see, how much lion's mane per day. Typical lion's mane dosage is roughly 1 gram, so 1,000 milligrams. However, obviously some people might end up having 2 matchas a day, so then that would equate to the right amount. Also, you don't really know if you're like getting the same amount in each teaspoon, because it could have settled to the bottom or settled to the top or whatever. So it says an effective dose is 500 milligrams to 1,500 milligrams, and I've started off small. I'm happy with that. Now, what is difficult to ascertain in my case is what is the effect of the matcha? What is the effect of the, whilst I'm seeing benefits, is it because of the ashwagandha? Am I even saying that right? I'm sorry, I might not be. Is it because of the ashwagandha? In fact, we can ask Google. Ashwagandha. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, but Google will tell you things if you ask it to. Speech, here we go. Yeah, it went off in my ears, I'm afraid, so you didn't get to hear that, but it said ashwagandha. So Google thinks it's ashwagandha too, and that is all that matters in life. So, yeah, I don't know what is the ashwagandha, I don't know what is the lion's mane, I don't know what is the matcha, I don't know what is the ginger. It's definitely all having, the whole drink in itself is having some kind of effect. I definitely feel better, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not having that really fucking tired crash at the end of, midway through the afternoon, to be quite honest. And also that sugar crash that you're like, and then you're like, oh my god, I need something to bring me back up again, because I literally feel like I'm gonna die. I feel like I've fallen off a cliff and maybe I have died. So it's reduced that. It's like a nice subtle release of caffeine, or absorption even, I should say, because it's actually absorbed differently, not released differently. Anyway, so if I could have chosen matcha without lion's mane and ashwagandha, I probably would have done. I wasn't going for it because of that, but also I know that lion's mane mushroom is a big vibe at the moment, so I was like, fine, we'll go for it. It's fine. Everyone else is doing it, why not me? I put my body through hell and back so you don't have to. Wow, I'm getting better at singing. I haven't done that in a while. So, let's talk about how it's good for you in it. Nutritional benefits. Now, I was going to talk about consumption methods. So, firstly, you can obviously have it as a mushroom, but good luck finding one. If you find one and you don't live in an Asian country, congratulations, and let me know. Because, do I want to try one? I don't know. they kind of look a bit scary. Okay, the reason why I have a weird thing about mushrooms, consuming mushrooms, is because you can buy a cordyceps fungus. Freaking out. Cordyceps fungus supplement, which bothers me because I have watched The Last of Us, and it's literally all about the cordyceps fungus taking over human beings, and then we decide to eat it. Like, what are we doing? I mean, it's obviously not factually correct and it happened, but I also don't like, the fact that it's like potentially it's caused all these zombie humans in a fake TV show, and then people are going and eating it. So imagine if cordyceps made people turn into zombies and lion's mane mushrooms made people turn into lions with manes. Oh wow, I just realised how weird that was to say, but then I was like, fuck, I've already said it. So I wouldn't mind turning into a lion. I think the problem would be I would get quite bored of not having a thumb. Like, thumbs are quite useful. I also would get quite bored of just being a lion, because lions don't really do much. Like, the thing is, right, I know we're off on a tangent, but that's what you're here for. The thing is, animals, we see them at the zoo and we're like, oh my god, they must be so bored. Like, fair enough, they could be. I've done no boredom studies on zoo animals. However, if you look at them in the wild, like, I've been on wildlife safaris, literally, like, in the wild. Like, these animals are free. All they're doing is eating or sleeping. That is it. They're not doing anything else. So, it's not as though they're like going to the cinema or meeting up with friends and going for a beer. Like, they literally sleep and then they run around and try and find food, and that's it, and have sex to have, to reproduce. That's kind of it. And then obviously fight away predators and compete for sex and stuff like that. But, I think we have this, like, because we watch TV programs and the animals are all like, wow, and they're also like, because it's so condensed, they're also active. I met a snake that was like the chillest fucking thing in the world. They just lie there. They're like chilled AF. They're like, I'm a snake. But when you see them on TV, have you watched the Our Planet episode where the fucking snakes are all chasing after that lizard and you think that's their whole life, and it's not. That's 5 seconds of its life. Anyway, if you turn into a lion, I don't think you'd be too thrilled about it. I tell you what though, if I turned into a horse, I'd be well up for that. Because I when I was a kid, I always just wanted to jump over stuff. I think if I was a lion, I would be less bothered. I don't really know what I'd do with my life. I wouldn't be able to have a podcast. No one would listen to me going, rawr, rawr. Maybe people don't listen to me now, but and then there we go. I think we should end that segment there. So what was I even saying? Was I talking about how you could eat it? Oh yeah, if you go, raw, cooked. So you could eat it raw, like I eat my button mushrooms raw, or you can cut them up, or you don't have to cut them, I suppose. You could just cook them raw, but who's doing that? You can cut them up and I guess like fry them or cook them in something like you would a normal shroom. And basically, apparently they kind of taste, and the texture of them is like seafood. So people have them as an alternative to like lobster and crab, and might be good for the environment. And also, apparently, according to Mycoplanet, they are very easy to grow. Apparently, they are one of the easiest fungi to grow. And that is, no one's complaining about that, are they? In fact, somebody told me, I don't know if I should admit to this. Someone I don't know, to be fair, told me that they grow mushrooms. I'll let you guess what kind. Maybe it's lion's mane. Maybe it's not. And they said they're really easy to grow because they don't need much light. In fact, they need almost no light. They just need light to know where to grow towards. They're like, okay, I'll grow this way rather than sideways. Do you know what I mean? They have like an orientation point. I guess they don't use gravity. I don't know. But they don't, so you don't have to have like heat lamps on or anything because they grow in like fairly cold, cool temperatures. Cool, damp. Well, not cool, but like, damp, dark, and a little bit moist, and then a little bit, I was going to say wet, and then I realised that that's moist. So a bit like a basement flat in Bristol, for example. Not that that's where I know they're grown, but like that sounds like the perfect place, right? So, and then, I don't know how long they take to grow, but as far as I'm aware, mushrooms do not take that long to grow. You see them, they're like there, they're like not there, and then bam, in a couple of days they're there. So, it says in a few weeks, you should see some fuzzy white growth beginning to appear on the surface of the wood. That is the mycelium. And then it has to fruit. Nice. Sounds kind of gross, and then we're just eating that. In my opinion, it's kind of weird. Next, apparently they are high in vitamin D. Sounds like we need some of that, to be quite honest. People in the UK, especially if you're dark skinned. Am I allowed to say that? I don't know, but that's what I'm going to say. If you have dark coloured skin, you don't absorb as much UV sunlight, because that's just a fact. Like it is, because you have more melanin. Is that the right one? I was going to say melatonin. Melanin is the right one. And that means that a lot of people who I see who are vitamin deficient tend to be either older, who don't go outside, or of an ethnic background with darker skin tones. So, if you didn't know that, that was a plot twist for you, wasn't it? They're a great meat or seafood substitute. Apparently they do kind of taste a little bit mildly fishy, like seafoody or sweet, which is kind of apparently, I don't eat seafood personally because I think it looks fucking manky, is the full definition, fucking manky. So I don't eat it because it scares me. Like, I don't want to eat something that looks like that. So I also don't eat that much meat anymore, I would say. So, not a vegan, but not a vegetarian, but not a full, fully fledged meat eater. I used to eat a lot of meat. So, they look like cauliflowers to me. Honestly, I just look at pictures of them and I'm like, so they also have some really cool effects. I think they might be the future in nerve regeneration. Like, I'm very excited for the future of medicine and the future of I want to say plant-based medicine, but I know that's probably not the right term, but like nature, finding things in nature that can help us, and hopefully we don't destroy it, like all humans do. But no, not all humans, but people who want to make money and don't give a shit about the world. So I am quite excited by the future of medicine in terms of what we're going to use to help us. Say, what did penicillin come from? It came from a tree. Now, I can't remember which tree. Wait. Penicillin tree. Tree bark. Come on. Willow tree bark was the original source of aspirin. See, this is amazing, isn't it? Don't you think that's amazing? Like, I honestly think that's crazy, but also really cool. It's like nature made this shit, and we use it to prevent strokes, heart attacks, pain relief. Like, it's crazy. And the antibiotic penicillin says it came from a mold. Common bread mold. So maybe I've got it the wrong way around. Well, I have, clearly. Bread mold. That is so cool. So anyway, what else comes from trees or plants? We've got foxgloves make something called atropine, I believe. Is it atropine? See, I'm really questioning myself now. Atropine, foxglove. Which drug is extracted? Oh, it's digoxin. I was like, in my head, I was like, is it digoxin? It's digoxin. So anyway, it's a anti-arrhythmic medication for the heart. So there we go. That's pretty cool. And we just use loads of shit. I think it's really amazing. And it like makes you think, where are we going to be in the future? I think we should invest so much more into trying to find natural substances that we can condense and concentrate. Oh, that did not work. Condense and concentrate and make it into a medicine, because there are so many plants we really haven't investigated. I mean, cocaine. We use cocaine in medicine as well. You wouldn't believe that, would you? But we use it as a pain relief and also to basically close off blood vessels of bleeding areas, and we use it in children. That's from the coca plant, I think so, coca leaves. And heroin, or morphine I should call it, probably, not heroin, but that's from poppy seeds. Cray. So watch out on your poppy seed bagels. No, I'm joking. You have to consume a lot of poppy seeds. So you can also, obviously there are lots of supplements around at the moment. So you can obviously have a supplement, put it in some either hot water, you can make it into a tea, you can have it in coffee. Oh my god, guys, I got a shroom coffee as well, so I'm going to try that one. You can put it in a smoothie because it's kind of sweet. It would probably taste nice. Or, yeah, I mean, there's loads of things. You can also just have it as a tablet, or you could just not have it at all. And that would be absolutely fine. I think probably the most, exciting benefits of lion's mane mushroom are, although yes, it does improve apparently mental clarity and focus. I mean, I would say my podcasting is becoming much more focused. You might not agree. I hate making like really false claims. Like, you know, when people are like, I am gluten intolerant, and you're like, you farted once after you had a piece of bread, and you can't call that gluten intolerant. So I hate it when people they jump to conclusions, you know? They go, okay, I had this, and then I had this symptom, it must be that. It's like, no, think about what other things change. You know, your life is not the same every day. So whenever I do these like experimenty things, I don't want to call them experiments, but you know, experiments on myself, where I try different supplements and stuff like that and try different things, I like to think, okay, what do I need to keep the same? Like I'm not making a completely controlled experiment, but I am also considering, like, you know, how much exercise I've had, where I am in my period cycle, how stressed I am, how much money I have, because that influences my stress, how much sleep. So it's not just like, okay, well, this week I had some lion's mane mushroom and I felt fucking amazing, so it must be that, and I'm basically like Einstein now. So, but I mean, it has apparently been shown, you know, there are studies. What was the thing I did a podcast about the other day that was like, it's not really that researched? Oh no, I think I haven't done a podcast on it yet, actually. I was researching it and then I was like, should I do this or not? And then I didn't. Grounding mats. Anyway, if you want to hear about that, then let me know. Because I started looking at it and then I was like, I don't know, it seemed a little bit airy-fairy for me. So, but this made me laugh quite a lot, and I thought I better include it. So, one small study of menopausal women, this is what made me laugh, found that eating cookies containing lion's mane mushrooms daily for 1 month helped reduce self-reported feelings of irritation and anxiety. No shit, if I got to eat a cookie a day, you better believe that I am going to be not irritated and not anxious. Like, what a great life. So that made me giggle, because I was like, if we give anybody cookies every day for free, like, obviously they're going to be happier. Here you go, post-menopausal woman. Actually, it's not post-menopausal, it was menopausal. Apparently aids in digestion and gut health. But I think the most interesting thing, where is it? Do you know what? I haven't actually put it. Oh, here we go. No, I put it right at the bottom. Although we're not using this necessarily as a current drug, I think it's definitely interesting. It's up and coming, maybe. So there's something called oh fuck, why do they always come up with these complicated names? It's funny because everybody says that about their medications that they're on. when I see them in hospital and I'm like, well, I see them every day, so they're not that hard for me, and they'll go, oh, that one Bipopo, and I'll be like, bisoprolol, and they'll be like, yeah, that one. It's literally every day is a guess the drug name for me, because nobody knows how to say their drug names. So I'm like constantly decoding. The other one, they're like, I'm trying to think of, they're like, Ribu, and I'm like, Rivaroxaban, and they're like, yeah, that one. I could do this all day. Like, this is literally my life. A daily occurrence. If I see any person who is on any regular medication, some of them do know how to say it, you know? They're like, they're on it, but or they'll come up with their own way of saying it, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, well, I understood what you meant. Hericium, maybe that sounds better. Hericium, who knows? Actually, maybe I can just get it to speak to me again. Speech. Oh, it's on silent. I can't hear it. Oh my god, I did it again. It is Hericium. Well, that's what Siri just said to me. So, Hericium. Basically, they looked at cells, I believe it was nerve cells, under the microscope, and they gave Hericium to the, I don't know how, but they flopped them together and they said, do your thing. And basically the Hericium in the lion's mane mushroom, well, they obviously took it out, started to heal and regenerate these nerve cells. And so people have then started using it as a supplement, and maybe even will start using it as a medicine to either prevent or to slow down neurological degenerative disorders. And what I mean by that is like conditions that just get worse and worse and worse over time, like dementia, Parkinson's disease, motor neuron disease, multiple sclerosis. Horrible. I repeat, horrible. I hate neurological disorders because there is nothing at the moment really that we can do for them except symptom management, and it would be great to have a medicine that we could give to people that would stop it or like prevent it, or, you know, it would be amazing. Oh, fucking Mac's about to die. What are we on, 10%? I reckon we can do it. So, the other concerning thing that I found out, okay, so the negatives, let's talk about the negatives. Number one, there have been some allergic reactions. Not hugely common, but has happened. Number two, obviously with any new supplement there are limited research in long-term effects. However, like I said, the Chinese have been using it for a while. They seem to be doing all right, you know, fairly all right. So there we go. We can take what we want. We can take what we want from that. And there are concerns that daily consumption of lion's mane could lead to overstimulation of neurons, so like nerve cells, meaning that, you know, they're like reproducing, healing, blah, blah, blah. And then we then, as a result, feel like mentally fatigued and sort of clouded like mind. So it might be worth having a little break every so often. I don't know how founded that is as such, you know, there's just thoughts. I don't think that's actually been shown, so I don't want you to like take that verbatim, but it's a, you know, consideration. The other thing is a lot of some lion's mane production companies, especially in China, they've got quite bad pollution levels. So if you're having supplements from China with pollutants in, then you're kind of, you know, giving yourself carcinogens, and then, which is cancer, you know, inducing chemicals, and then trying to give yourself a supplement. So it's kind of a bit backwards, but it's really hard to determine, you know. I guess you could like get it organic or from somewhere that's not like a really concerning area for pollution. So those are the ways that you could probably counteract that concern. The other thing is abdominal discomfort. Now I wasn't going to tell you, and then I was, and then I wasn't, and now I am. Basically, I don't know if it's because of this, I had a really big meal because I'm having some weight issues at the moment. I had a really big meal, and what happened was I then had like, I could feel my poo moving through my tummy, basically, let's put it that way. And I felt like I was in labour. I was like, oh, it was like really like something was going on in there, scraping, whatever. And then I had this ginormous poo. Like, Tom's always like, your poos can't be that big. I don't show them to him, but I want to. But then I'm like, no, that's a bit weird. That's too far. So I don't. You're welcome. And I'm like, so basically the summary is it can cause stomach upset and abdominal discomfort. But I don't know, again, whether that's due to that or whether I'm on another medication, Wegovy, which is a weight loss medication. It can make you quite constipated. So I think it's some of that as well. But honestly, that was an experience, let me tell you. It was like my abdomen felt sore afterwards, but it also felt so great. Like, it was like, oh God. Imagine that's what it's like when you have a baby. It's like, it feels sore, but like also really amazing because you've relieved yourself of your baby. Even more beneficial when you actually have a baby to enjoy, but mine just got flushed down the toilet. So the main concerning thing for me was interactions with medications. Number one, blood thinners, anticoagulants, and the other thing people say is anticoagulant. That's what they say, anticoagulants, such as, you really probably don't care, rivaroxaban, blah blah blah, warfarin, or antiplatelet drugs such as aspirin. Actually, we talked about that one earlier, didn't we? Anti-diabetic drugs, because the concern is that lion's mane mushroom can reduce your blood sugar level. I personally haven't found that. I'm on Wegovy and it can also reduce your blood sugar level. I haven't found that I've been like, oh, my blood sugar level feels really low, but also I don't have diabetes. So I kind of understand where the line is drawn there. But I am on SSRIs, which is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which is a antidepressant such as sertraline or citalopram, or fluoxetine is another one. Those are the three most popular ones. Or what do people in America call it? They call it Prozac. That's it. Is that, yeah, Prozac is fluoxetine, I believe. So it says it may interact. I didn't actually see how. Let's see. Let's open this. I'm just really conscious. Okay, we're on 8%. Selective serotonin re-inhibitors, SSRIs. So, what does it actually say? Potential interaction symptoms. So it can increase your risk of serotonin syndrome, agitation, restlessness, insomnia, confusion. Serotonin syndrome is so fucking rare. Like, I wouldn't be overly worried about it unless you're taking loads of lion's mane mushroom. So, I mean, you can go and have a look at it's basically like you're on cocaine. Those are the symptoms, okay? If you're wondering. Agitation, restlessness, insomnia, confusion, rapid heart rate, high blood pressure, dilated pupils, loss of muscle coordination or twitching muscles, muscle rigidity, diarrhea, headache, fever, abnormal temperature changes. Seizures. Yeah, well, that would be a bad state to get to, wouldn't it? I would probably stop when you're having the above symptoms. So, yeah, apparently that's the concern. So, obviously, if you are on any of those things, then please consider that and take that into account and, maybe talk to your doctor or think about whether you really should be taking lion's mane mushroom. So I guess that's the end, guys. I upload every Monday and Thursday, and this has been Backseat Positivity. I've been your Dawn. I've been your host, Dr. Dawn Barlow, and I will see you in the next episode. Okay, it's going Australian again. And if you liked it, please give it a like, give it a comment, give me a subscribey, give me a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. See you in a few days. Love ya. Bye bye. Nearly forgot your kissy.